Okay, here we go. Here we go. We back. We back. This is your stream. The continuation of. Where's my sound? There we go. All right. Yeah. Hey. Happy panel time. Uh, almost said weekend. I guess I have to make my peace with. We do somewhat still live in the real world. So happy panel slash weekend ish. All right. What's going on? Who's out in the streets tonight? uh, TML has his usual crew. Oh, Mel taking over Saturdays. Well, you can come take over here. What are y'all doing? Panel hopping? Oh, Blizzy's on. I love Blizzy. Resto, Crispy. Okay. Flo. Oh, that's right. Flo is like doing a collab with Raging Tomato. Rachel's Ghost. Hung Lo Wang. Oh, let me see. Oh, right. Who are these people? All right, I'll stop. Welcome, panel. I gotta check in with my. Oh, Provo's even restreaming Flow. That's his big return to the panelverse to restream Flow State. Wow, Flow, you're really capturing a reputation for yourself there. Um, so other than that, here confining things to here, just the usual chat space. Oh, I did watch. Listen to this, y'all. I did watch a little bit of Liliana's stream. She is creating or trying to create a troll, like a pool of trolls. Hey, doofus. Like a troll ensemble, a repertoire that that she calls it troll baiting, and then they'll hang out in the chat, and people can pay to have trolls come on the panel and troll bait panelists. And when the game is active, anybody that comes on panel agrees to those rules. So you may get trolled if you're and I'm gonna make if you're on a panel when we're doing the troll game, and I'm gonna make little icons. In fact, let me try to find one I can use maybe for right now. It's gonna look something like this. Um, yeah, let's just pretend that's a troll. And so when this is on, that means like the troll game, or maybe that one. I like him better. So like I'll get a little troll icon, but for now. So say that's on. That means the troll game is active. Anybody coming on panel agrees to be trolled. And Liliana is working on raising an army of trolls, which is kind of based in satanic, because that's what Satan does in Paradise Lost. He raises pandemonium, and she's raising her little troll army. And then you can do super chats and pick a troll to come on and like battle one of the panelists for 5 or 10 minutes, whatever. We'll work all that out. A troll avatar. Um, well, let me see what I have to work with. I mean, I can put any types of avatars. Look, I have him. How's he? That could work. I need a troll background too. Let me see what I can do about that. Hey Bex, what's up? Sadist. Um, I'd say yeah, they're sadomasoch. I'm a sadomasochist myself. There are sadomasochists that gather here. We are not unfriendly to them. We do not kink shame, as long as they're not being sadistic, outside of the bounds. Hey, Hebrew. No malicious attacks on guests or unprovoked attacks. No bringing in people's family or offline life. Like, no taking it really low, like childish insults. What was I about to do? Oh, right, the background. I only have a few loaded up right now. Ooh, this one could work. Or here's actual hell. No, I like this. And then turn on the little troll logo, and then it should be very clear now that we are in different territory, not the ordinary panel like outliers lounge. Yeah, something like that. Because Satan is kind of a troll figure anyway, and the Satanic Temple is a troll group, troll organization, or at least that's part of what they started as. And so now, if you're on the panel, and this is all practice, I'm not saying the game is on, but if this were a real game and you're on the panel, you agree to have people send trolls up to troll you. And that's a way of like doing a little bit of drama but keeping it manageable and introducing it in bite-sized little moments instead of having the whole panel be a wildfire of drama, like a drama conflagration. Which means this background is not really communicating that. But I like it. So sure, why not? We'll have Troll Night. We're piloting the troll game. So we'll have it running in the background and we'll see what people do with it. But we'll also have normal panel discussion at the same time, or try to. All right. And Fatty, we're supposed to do our thing too. Although I was taking a break from the DEI. But I know you had some experience with the DEI here in Washington State. And you were kind of all over the fence on the DEI stuff yourself. No, okay, not lies. I can tell you right now. I only read the first little part of your question without even reading the rest. Live in a mansion. Already no. No, 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 no. I'll I'll um I'll do the small abode of love. I've had that actually, and that's one reason I'm not going to choose the mansion. Oh, hey, Alan, what's up? Um, when I lived in Vegas with Mike, we had a 4 bedroom, 2 story. It was like 2,000, maybe 2,500 square. If you counted the garage, it was a three car garage, so it was a workroom, all that. So if you add it all together, it had a pool, a hot tub, a small backyard. That was perfect for 2 people. Just perfect for the 2 of us. We had a beautiful life there that we were building together. When it was just me in that house, it felt like Alice in Wonderland. It seemed gigantic. The same house I was living in with one other person when it was just me. 4 bedrooms, 2,500 square. I don't need all of that as one person. It was overwhelming. In fact, I didn't even, that's one reason I was in the desert all the time. I didn't even want to be in the house. It was too big. It was too much space. And for a while after that, like when I left and went to New Orleans, I had this thing for years where I wanted the smallest space. I wanted enough space for me and my belongings. So I rented like a small room. I rented bed and breakfast, not bed and breakfast, what do you call hostels? I stayed in a hostel for a couple of weeks. It was just a room with a bed. I rented a small room in someone's house. And then my friend had this place open up that his family owned, which is like a little, I call it the slave cottage, but it was like an old brick cottage. It looks like it was made in like the 18th century or or maybe the 19th century, and it had a little tiny kitchen that just my body could fit in and turn around to cook and use the sink. It had a tiny bathroom with a big clawfoot tub, and it had a little tiny room where I could put maybe a what do you call it, a single bed, a TV. I was in that mode for a long time, just enough space for me that was perfect. And so a mansion, oh my God, I would lose my mind inside of a mansion. Way too much. It would feel like Mouths of Madness or something. Yeah, me too. That it was the closest I've come to spiritual in my lifetime is being out in the desert, especially at night. I would sleep out there. I would like sleep on a rock. I wouldn't use a tent at all because there were no but well there were tarantulas crawling around that I would hear about the next day. But I never by the time I was ready to go to sleep, I was pretty like dead to stimuli. And that's what started the healing from the grief was that there was a peace in the desert, gave me like a pause, and it put me in touch with that like spiritual feeling. I remember in Death Valley, that was my first time being around a bunch of other people since losing Mike, and I didn't know what to expect, and it was a very positive, peaceful, healing experience. That's when the healing started. They call it Death Valley, but for me, it was the beginning of life again. Oh, you have. I totally would. Okay, I've told this before, but I'm gonna tell you this about me growing up. I was the oldest of four, but somehow I was still the black sheep. I didn't know at the time I could have set the tone for the whole rest of the family, and I guess in a way I did, in an inverse way. But I was the kid because we were kind of a large family, and we always ended up in small um, like apartments, houses. So we had to make do with space. I was always the kid that got the sleeping bag on the floor, the sofa bed. One time they put me under the dining table. I had a little pallet in the dining room, under the dining table, out of the way. One time when I got back, they weren't planning for me, and they had moved to a new place, and they weren't planning to have me. And I moved back from Austin. They put me in the foyer on one of those fold-out like chair bed mattresses under the mail slot. And if I didn't wake up early enough, the mailman would come and drop the mail on my head, on my face, while I slept. So I was the kid that was always crammed into wherever he fit, and I was fine with like it didn't. I had been doing it for so much of my life, it didn't bother me at all. So anytime I'm at someone's house, they could stick me literally anywhere. Put me on a couch, put me in the garage, uh, throw me in a closet, wherever. I'm good. Like I have learned to survive in very tiny spaces and be fine. Yeah, that's why I want an Earth ship. I would do perfect in an Earth ship. It's the desert. It's a cool space. It's just enough space. If I have another person, I can do a larger space. But really, just me, for some reason, I don't do well with large space. All right, what are we going to do tonight other than the troll game? By the way, Alid is Lily. Let me check. Is she still doing her panel? Oh, I guess it's over. The road to nowhere. How did? Oh, okay. No, I had that for a while when I was doing the Satan theme. We've gone through many reveals, and oh Lord, I didn't mean to do all that. But yeah, I saw that you were trying to put together some troll, like a little troll troop, which I thought was kind of cool. So I was wondering how that went. If you want, we could have like troll. It wouldn't be the finishing school. It'd be the opposite of that. Our charm school. But I like the idea. Like, if we're gonna be like, this is our chance to develop the next generation of trolls, and so they have our stamp on it instead of some other person. Like, if we have a chance to like innovate and sophisticate the art of trolling and foster the next generation. If we could be like the RuPaul of trolls and have like make sure that there's quality trolling. Um, yeah, I'm supposed to be. I hope I'm doing a good job at it. Hope I'm remembering to rock. Oh, do y'all want to do practice trolling? Like have Liliana up as a panelist, and Alan can come and troll her. And Liliana also will come up and answer questions for super chats. She'll you can ask her a question in the chat or on the panel, and she'll come up in person and answer live. But one question per super chat. So Liliana, for some reason, is getting very creative with this channel and helping to capitalize it. Oh, Kane! Oh my God! Okay, dude, I looked at it today, and I almost pressed the sign up button, and I said, fuck it, I don't feel like filling it out. I'll do it later. But that is the one I have my eye on. So please let me know what you think, because I was gonna try restream, but it looks like this Evmux, other than the name, might be what is closest to StreamYard for me. Because if there's something even remotely comparable, um, as far as efficiency, I'm not fancy here. I just need a camera, preferably 1080, because I'm going to upgrade my camera at some point, that can stream to YouTube and let me have guests, and maybe a few little effects like a music track, the ability to do little logos or backgrounds. I don't need anything fancy. I just need something simple like StreamYard. And the thing I like about it the most is how easy it is to add guests. You just have a link, and anybody can watching can come on. It's all browser based, and EvMux seemed the same way. Yeah, well, Jesus should be leading him where he needs to be. So it's could be that it's not here. Yeah, StreamYard just got dark mode. I use it now. Um, autarky and well, it does. Aut does mean self. Do you really? I suspect he's not far away. Or she. I get. Did I just misgender Jesus? You know, it's so hard to think of Jesus, not think of Jesus as male. Even though he was like soy Jesus, he's still male. Except maybe not anymore. What's male? Or any of us male? I've predicted it many, many times, but I'm going to predict it again. We're all going to end up transgender. That category is going to swallow every one of us. So we might as well get ahead of the curve, the radius. That's good. I think having it be a fuzzy category helps. I personally use neurodivergence more even than autism because it just contrasts it with neurotypicality or the statistical norm. And more even than statistical norm, it's the ability for neurotypicals or some people, some humans, to all share enough norms to be able to sync up and communicate more fluidly than people like me can. So that's the main line of demarcation um, in my use of it. What are scenes? I keep hearing that, but I don't even know if I use scenes. No, I did look at what that Streamlabs, which I downloaded, but was not that impressed with. It had these overlays that looked really cool. That puts your people in different layouts and effects, but you had to pay for them. Well, maybe for you. Yeah, I would be careful of using it if I were you. Cool. Wasn't that a candy like Pop Rocks growing up? Let me look it up. Somewhere in the back of my distorted memory. Oh no, but I googled Space Dust Candy and Pop Rocks came up. Oh, it was called. Ah, it was a hit. In 1976, they released the new candy called Pop Rocks. And it was so much of a hit that a few years later, they released another new candy called, guess what? Space Dust. And you know what it was? It was Pop Rocks. You can have different screen length. Oh Lord, that sounds complicated. I like to just turn the camera on and kick back. That's why I need a producer. Because there's people that do all. It's like a separate role, and they DJ the whole panel. Yes, neurodivergence. Yeah, it was. Because it felt like a swipe coming from YouTube. It was a micro swipe. That sounded. eh. Yeah, you remember? Do they even have Pop Rocks anymore? Are they legal now for the bakers? Y'all have bakers like going to the baker. We just call it the grocery store. Um, we had a baker in the little town we moved to as a teenager. They had an actual bakery next to the Catholic church. And I used to walk home from school in front of it and stop in. And they had the best little pastries and jelly. They had like cinnamon twist and they had these pastries filled with jelly filling that was so good. And they had the nicest little old lady that worked there. It was just a little cozy. It to me it was like something you'd see in Europe. I was surprised they had this cozy little down home bakery. It's real tiny and in this little small Louisiana town. That's cool. I think that New Orleans has a lot of cool bakery. They call them, what do they call them? Patisseries. It's like they have a coffee shop culture, but they also have kind of like a bakery culture. They have these, oh my God, and they have Sucre, which is a chocolatier slash candy shop. They make designer chocolates and designer candies, and they have like these glass cases with it's like shopping for jewelry. All these little fine chocolates. They have absinthe chocolate, um, and you can buy like individual bites of chocolate and then sit down at this like cafe style setting and have coffee and eat your little chocolates. It's so cool. It's like a candied chocolate store, but it's more of a coffee shop bakery experience. It's like a social experience. Oh right. See. I was not such a kid. Y'all. I wasn't reckless. I didn't take unnecessary risks just to do so. Like I always put the Roman candle in the bottle or in the ground instead of holding it in my hand, unless I had some adult there insisting that I do so. And me saying no is gonna blow up, and them saying, "Come on, don't be a pussy," and me going along with it. And what happened? It blew up. My hand turned black, and everybody said, "See, he told you so." And the person hung their head in shame. Oh, what's yeah? I saw she was streaming earlier. It looks like they're panel hopping, or I wish there was a way to like stay on my stream and pop it on other streams at the same time. I know people do it, but I think they use multiple devices. What about niggardly? Can you still use that? Renege. I mean, the word just it's just Latin for black, really, right? Words have the power you give them. It's people freaking out over the Latin word for black or a slang version of it that's now acquired the power of a societal taboo. That's in here. That's social intersubjective psychology. Click the link and mute your stream mic. You mean mute it in StreamYard, not on the mic. And then I would pull up the YouTube and share it on here, and it would show me on it. Let's see maybe there's someone I could test it on. Who's on males? I'm kind of fussy about going on certain panels with certain people, although this is a lot of female energy. Blizzy's there. I don't know this Forest guy. Resto's there. I don't know some of these people. What's the topic? They're talking about putting tits on people. I don't know if Hank, Liliana, is Hank one of your trolls? Because you did a fine job with him so far. I just looked it up. It's the process of becoming black, which, what is blackness and whiteness? Like who, good thing we have experts now to tell us, like quantify it for us. It reading the Wikipedia article, it already sounds like a woke term. It extends through history and impacts those victimized by racism and white supremacy. That's the first slide of the definition. It's the process of becoming black or developing a racial identity. Can someone I can't even translate that. Liliana, you're in DEI. Do you know what that means? Developing a racial identity? Why would someone want to do that in post-racial America? Unless you wanted it to continue to be racial. Sometimes, not as many as I would like, but sometimes there are a few of us rainbows. Oh, you mean because she went from Indian to black? She developed her black identity. That could be a good example. In fact, I wonder if Wikipedia mentions it. No, they don't. But let me see if she shows up in Google searches. Um, no, not really. Probably only on the Gen X Jeff Outliers stream. Is this even happening? Right, but not like, I don't know, maybe in Canada because you're Canadian, but in America, thinking in groups is weird. Like the individual takes priority over the group, so it's easier for me to think in terms of individual people and then home in like outwards to a group if I need to, but usually I don't need to. And to just classify people into groups and and frame everything in terms of these groups that are in competition or are fighting each other for power or are united because of some intersect, that is just bizarre thinking to me. It doesn't track with American psychology. I don't know why somebody would want to. It seems high school, junior high school, like when you had the jocks and the nerds and the misfits or whatever, and the lunch tables, and you thought in those kind of groups. But then as you become adult and mature, you grow out of that and you develop an appreciation more of not only yourself as an individual, but other people as individuals, which I wonder if that's part of it. Like these people have no sense of their own individuality. Otherwise, I don't think they would like be as susceptible to thinking in groups. Because that's what keeps me from doing it. I'm like, yeah, I'm all these groups, but that's just a tiny part of me. Like I'm way more than that. In fact, I want to try to find this quote that I've shared before from Emerson. Because I think I just gotta figure out how to Google for it. Hang on. Well, I'll keep trying to find it as I talk. I know it usually shows up on Goodreads, but it explains very eloquently why I think this groupthink is epistemologically inferior to thinking in terms of the individual. I think you're getting a partial picture of reality if you reduce people to their groups or if you make the groups the most important part of the person. We have somebody in the back trying to claim to be my baby daddy's son. Can you flash your camera so I'll know you're at least a real person and then I can figure out who you are from there? I wonder if it's a troll. Maybe I'm the one getting trolled. Maybe Liliana's whole project is a troll. You are. We needed some fresh trolls around here. I think we were losing some of our troll factor. Well, okay, his name is Satan's son. That's what I was talking about. Because I was like, hang on. I don't. You could be anybody. Satan probably has a lot of sons out there. Me being one of them. Um, oh, we hang on. We have another surprise guest. I haven't seen this dude in forever. Speaking of Satan's son,
Hey, Jeff.
hi. I used to call him my favorite leftist. Let's see if he still is. What's up?
Hey, man. Not a whole lot. Just saw you were streaming. I'm bored and just ate a bunch of cereal, so I just want to hop on and say
Are
hello.
you taking a break from all that hard work you're doing?
Yes, yes, indeed I am. So, but yeah, no, I'm just hanging out. How is life?
Um, Pretty good. It's pretty much this. How's yours? Catch me up.
I've been, making videos. Just got back from Toronto. I filmed with J-Rag
John?
and some people. Yeah,
Oh, with
we hung out.
wait, who'd you film with?
J-Rag, he's like a meme YouTuber.
Uh-huh. And
Um,
JJ?
So JJ is over in Vancouver. I did talk to him a little bit too, because him and J Reg are.
Oh, I didn't know he was in Vancouver. I thought he was in Toronto.
Yeah, no. So JJ lives in Vancouver and
Oh,
with
he's over
his
here
crew
by
in his
me.
studio, and then J Reg is in Toronto with his like separate crew, and they kind of like intermingle sometimes.
Oh,
Um,
okay.
and so yeah, I stayed at their studio in Toronto for a week. I slept on their couch. I hung out with John for a day. It was really fun. We drank some beer, and
How is he? He must be really busy because we never see him.
yeah, I think he is busy. He's working on an album. I think he's very, very active with music. He has his whole studio set up. He just got, I forget if he just got married or engaged. I believe
What?
he's married.
What?
Yeah.
What?
Or no, just engaged because I believe he said that it was his fiance, not his wife.
Wow. Well, congratulations, John. That's some news. I didn't even know he had. He kind of had a girlfriend. I guess
Hmm.
he never really talked about her. She was kind of in
Yeah.
the background.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah. I was going to meet her, but I didn't end up going to his house because he ended up just coming over to J Reg's place and we chilled over there for a little bit. But he seems very happy. So, yeah,
Well,
we
good.
reminisced about the old times in Paul's Discord,
I
and
know they're already old
I know, dude.
time. They
Yeah,
were
it's like,
just getting
yeah,
started and they're already old times.
it's crazy.
Well, what are you doing? Because you were working on the AI stuff and you were doing call-ins and you got to talk to Destiny.
Yes, yeah, I did that. So, yeah, so went to Toronto for that week. Gonna have some videos coming out that I did with J Reg. 3 rap battles. I think two are gonna go on his channel. One's gonna go on mine. In 2 weeks, I am flying to Miami to film a rap battle with Destiny himself. So that's
The
gonna
actual Destiny.
the real Stephen Kenneth Bonnell the second. Yeah,
Okay. I'm
yeah,
trying not to judge you, but I know I say a lot of things that you have a hard time not judging me for too. So this
yeah,
is fair play.
yeah, for sure. But yeah, so we're gonna film a rap battle together. We're gonna film a comedy sketch. And J
Does he
Reg,
have comedy? Can he pull off comedy?
can I or can he?
Can he? He seems so serious all the time.
I don't know. I wrote a pretty funny skit, so I think he just has to be there. And I tried to
Just
write this skit to match the dryness of what I assume his delivery will be. Um, so it's gonna be pretty cool, I think. So that'll be out in October.
oh, just around the corner. I dropped Rowan's channel in the chat, everybody. If you haven't discovered him,
Oh
definitely give him a
shit!
like, subscribe, check him out.
Oh,
He does a
appreciate.
lot of creative content. He works with AI. He does call-ins, impersonations, songs, music.
Yeah, I need to do another Sam Cedar prank call soon. I'm due for one. It's been like 6 months. I
Are,
think I might
do
do
you
like.
have to like space it out so they're not on to you every time?
Yeah, I just don't want to overdo the joke either. So I figured like maybe like twice a year I'll call in with a new character. So probably next time I'll do Charlie Kirk or like maybe like Steven Crowder or something.
Oh, and you've done Jordan Peterson too.
Not to Sam Cedar show. No,
Oh,
with Sam I've only called in as himself, and then I did Dave Rubin. Um,
He got caught up in that Russian thing I saw.
yeah, the Tenda Media stuff. That's pretty crazy. I haven't deep dived that, but it looks pretty bad. Um,
Yeah.
I saw Lauren Shen live actually back in like I think like April or May in Austin. She was on a panel at this event with Destiny that I went to see, and now she's going down in flames. So
I probably don't have to ask you who you're voting for or what you think about the political
mhm,
situation or anything, but let me ask you about Destiny
sure.
because his comments after the Trump shooting
Mhm.
really alienated me. And like I thought that was the end for it. I didn't know anybody that was sane and humane that would want anything to do with him. And then he's showing up on Paul's show. You're going to visit him, and so what? I guess maybe it's generational.
Yeah, I thought his comments were a bit distasteful. I wasn't a fan myself. I thought that was it's certainly not a thing that I would joke about. That I think the way once I kind of heard him explain that I was a bit less judgmental because he gave all these examples of I guess his whole thing was like that people on the right will engage in that kind of humor a lot and they don't seem to get a lot of shit. So he was like, if they can do it, then he was like, I'm not going to hold myself to a higher standard than the right holds itself to, and I'm going to make those same jokes because, like, fuck them, why not? And that was kind of his thing. And then and there were all these examples of like Dave Rubin, like whenever the Paul Pelosi attack happened, then Dave like made some joke about Paul getting hit with a hammer in the head and almost dying. And then even the guy at Trump's rally, the Corey guy who got shot, which is obviously horrible, had all these tweets about people getting killed and conspiracy theories in that realm and being like, oh, like they'll get over it, blah blah blah, whatever. So I think Destiny's rationality was kind of like it's equivalent humor, and so I think on the surface it appeared very like sociopathic and fucked up. But I think
Oh, it did.
once I saw the tweets of other people saying like similar things, I was like, okay, I guess that this is kind of already like normalized.
Well,
But
that's where I'm getting at. Like, have we just devolved that much as a civilization that that is the new norm? Because I condemn it in all of the instances you named. Like
sure.
all of those people you named, I would feel the same way about if that's what they said.
Yeah. I mean, I do too. I think it's probably all bad. I definitely wouldn't be as provocative as Destiny did, but that's just like my personality. I think it's useful to have people that are like bomb throwers in that
But
That makes
why? Like
sense.
at your own people?
Now
Are
it's
we that divided?
it's I think we are, and it's a sad state to be in. I regret that it is this way. Um, but I think that's where the landscape is. And it takes all sorts, right? Like it takes people to be really provocative, and it takes people to be more like healing and more empathy centered, which is kind of the approach that I try and take. Um, but that definitely, I thought it was a bit too much, but it didn't alienate me because I'm like, hey, I've and here's the otty thing that he pointed out was that like a lot of the people that got mad at him for those comments, he had just got on done with this big arc of making jokes just that bad about Palestinians being blown up, and everybody thought it was like really funny. But then this one guy at the Trump rally dies, then he makes a similar joke, and now it's like really really bad. So it's kind of like people are very selective with the things that they get upset
Oh,
about.
I didn't even know he made jokes about Palestinians dying. I
He
don't
did, he
find that
did.
funny either. I
Yeah,
probably would have had this reaction earlier.
for sure, for sure. So, but I tend to agree with you that it's probably all bad. But
I
here
mean,
we are.
if that's the if either that is where we are, like as a society right now, or that is a new norm that people like Destiny are trying to set for us. But either way, if why are we even in those harbors? How did we get there?
Oh man, I mean, so many reasons. I don't know, just the gradual. There's kind of like an audience capture thing that happens with people, and I think the internet has exacerbated it. I think that social media has made it a lot worse. I think the incentives are there for people to be as divisive and bombastic as possible, and that just seems to be like there's a cultural demand for that kind of stuff. And I think the more entertaining and incisive and bitchy people can be, I just the more success they get. Like it works, and that's why people do it.
Maybe
Um,
it's the new rock and roll. There's no more like rock is dead. Our
mhm,
id doesn't have an outlet like it had. There's hip hop and violent video games,
right.
but maybe for the masses, it needs something more than that. And people like Trump or Destiny or whatever gets people worked up is that outlet now.
Yeah, for sure. And I just think that I mean there's been so many was this chat from Chopper Jeff. Yeah. Yeah, it sucks, but I think that is kind of the norm now. I don't like
Like
it.
we're so eager to look for the worst in people or want to believe the worst or have our like we're so focused on what's could be the worst about the people around us.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we do. I think we do. And also just with a lot of the rhetoric that has been coming out of I guess everybody does it, but like a lot of like mainstream conservative figures have been very, very bad about that over the past X number of years. Like people like Dave Rubin and Tim Pool endlessly talking about like, oh, there's a civil war, there's going to be a civil war, blah blah blah. It's like the heat has been turned up so much that I think like
So
at a certain point, it's like you can keep trying to play respectability politics and not contribute to it. Which is probably like the more moral route to take, but I certainly don't fault people for like losing their patience after like 7, 8 years of it and just kind of like giving up, which seems to be kind of maybe what Destiny's done a little bit. He's gotten tired of the trying to be the bigger man. Um,
was he ever doing that? Because I remember
oh yeah, 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 for sure.
the first time I don't know a lot about Destiny, and I tuned in one time to kind of see him and get a feel for him. And he said something about the working class not being as I forgot his exact words, but it seemed really ignorant to me about like the educated class or people that go to college are more or have higher IQs than working class people or something like that. And
Mm,
it wasn't so much the specific fact, but the way he was saying it. Like his distaste for working class people really came through. He was very patronizing and condescending, and it seemed like he just could not accept that there would be a person that have a high IQ or be intelligent that did not want to go to college and become part of the educated class. Like he really had this strong bias and belief about the working class, and it turned me off a lot.
interesting. Yeah, I'd be curious to see what conversation that was. I mean, I think he generally is good on economic policy that's better for the working middle class, but I think he's had like I think if that was a conversation about like specifically like working class Trump voters or something, like voting for policy that's like works against their own interest, in his opinion, I could see him like going on a rant about that, like getting kind of unhinged. But
I don't
yeah,
think it was. I'm trying to remember the debate or the topic. It might have been Andrew Wilson.
yeah, he definitely those guys tend to bring out the worst in each other.
Uh, he's
Um,
no, not he is not. I do not claim. I am a centrist. We do not claim him.
okay.
Rowan can have him. Rowan is our leftist. If you have any questions for a far left, progressive, woke, Antifa, tanky extremist, we have one pretty close right here. So get him in.
Destiny is a centrist turd. Oh, I see. It's the company that you're responding to. Yeah, I just had a podcast with Paul the other day. We talked about Antifa and all that for a little bit. I think we're gonna have a follow up soon. And then because Paul talked to Destiny about the Antifa thing, and then he talked to me about the same thing. Um, but then we were going to do some research and then get back
Is
to.
Antifa even a thing anymore? It seems like they've kind of either fizzled out or went back underground. They seem most active during the 2020 unrest. That's when
Yeah,
they
I don't. Yeah,
flexed.
they're not like super relevant anymore. I mean, like chapters and like little. There's like little mini organizations like scattered across the country and stuff. But like, they're not like a. I think that their heyday is past for sure.
That's kind of the feeling I get too. There's we're in a new world. It's just figuring out what that world is because some things I don't think are as relevant anymore as we might think they are, and it's just figuring out what those things are.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's I think the right is changing a lot in terms of like like Russian sentiments. That seems to be a thing that is shifted quite a bit
Like
recently, which
pro
I'm very
Russia
curious
or
about.
against.
But like more pro Russia, because like whenever I was growing up, my parents and my grandparents are kind of from like the Reagan
Oh
era.
yeah, that
Uh,
was the Cold War.
yeah, like very very anti-Russian. But now
Yeah.
it seems like the right is like maybe like 60-40 anti versus pro Russia, kind of from my read of Twitter. Like there's a lot of people that seem to be like very amiable towards Putin and stuff, which I find kind of
I
weird
wonder how much of it is symbolic.
because Putin is like anti like LGBT progressive stuff.
Yeah, they just kind of see their values more reflected in a culture like Russia than the one that they see America turning into.
I suspect that is probably the reason. Like they're just so fed up with like progressivism and like wokeness stuff that they just turn
Y'all
to
really
Russia.
are obnoxious.
Wow, at least
It's
there, you know.
with all the top down. This is the undeniable reality. You either accept it or you get gate kept out of society. People are
Right.
going to have a reaction to that.
Oh, for sure. I also,
I
real quick, I see Chopper Jeff in the comments saying that literally no one is pro Russia, but I mean, like, check out Tim Pool's clip of him being like, Ukraine is the enemy of this country. Russia's the blah, blah," I mean, there's plenty of people on the right now who are doing that. Him, Dave Rubin has done it.
Dave too. That's
Um,
why he got caught with Russian media.
yeah, because they were all
Yeah,
funded by
yeah.
Tenet
I
Media.
do believe there's Russian propaganda for sure. I think there's all kind of propaganda for multiple countries
Yeah.
and probably some internal propaganda.
Oh, for sure.
Speaking of propaganda, I watched Paul's recent video. What like he's gonna move away from streaming? You think and just focus on
Mm.
content?
Yeah, I watched that earlier today too. Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't talked to him about that. We haven't talked in a couple weeks, but no, I think yeah. I mean, this is probably for the best, right? Because like I think the longer you spend time online, probably the more it makes you want to be more genuine in your content. And I've definitely felt that too. Like the longer I've gone on, the more I just kind of want to make art and get away from politics and like debate and stuff like that, and just kind of make music and memes and like comedy sketches. Um, and it seems like Paul is like wanting to kind of be more grounded in his approach, which is cool. I think it's a good thing.
Well, yeah, that's what I've been like focusing on the philosophy part is kind of what my emphasis was. And it looked like for a while he was like all anti-logic, anti-intellectual, and then I'm like, oh, that's I know we need as much logic and reason as intellect as we can get right now.
Yeah, yeah,
And
that shit
Paul
was
seemed
super
to
cringe.
like be one of the people that was most positioned to provide that, and to see him take that turn against it kind of surprised me.
Yeah, that was super cringe. I gave Paul a lot of shit for that on his podcast. I would always argue with him about like whenever he would say things like anti-intellectualism is based. I'm like, that's so cringe. Like why would you say that? You know?
But that's also that irony that he's concerned is getting miscommunicated, which I guess it kind of is. 'Cause-
Yeah. Yeah, I think it was. And so like in our most recent podcast, I brought that point up with him and I was like, I think that the point I made was that if somebody came up to me and said that like anti-humor, like anti-charisma is based, I would call that just as silly as saying that
yeah,
anti-intellectualism or like anti-logic is based, because like you need both. And he
yeah.
was like, "Oh, I agree with that." And I'm like, then why the fuck are you saying this? He's like, "Oh, it's ironic." I'm like, "Well, you kind of go back and forth." So we fought a bit about that, but I think that maybe that conversation plus his thing with Destiny and some other interactions have made him want to be a bit less irony poisoned.
Well, I think he's good at it. It is one of his strengths, despite the miscommunications. As an art form, but maybe we're seeing a new Paul. We're all. One thing I like about this medium is you grow and change in the process of using it. It's an art form that changes you in the process.
Right. Oh, for sure it is. Yeah, I mean, my channel has changed a lot over the years. I mean, my goal for my channel has shifted completely from the beginning. Um, so which I don't know. I might get back to more serious stuff at some point, but I think right now I just don't really have the uh, the patience for it. Like I've grown really tired of debate and politics, and so my current plan is to just continue doing rap battles and prank calls and comedy skits, and then like reevaluate in 6 months and just kind of see where I'm at and what I want to do with it with the my
What
platform.
are you still doing the school?
No, I'm graduated. I'm done with that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I graduated. I worked for a while. I quit my job. So I just do YouTube full time right now.
That's what a lot of us are trying to do.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm just gonna try it out for a while, but I'm probably gonna go back to work in like March or April of next year once I kind of put out the bulk of my content that I'm currently stewing on.
And then just do it on the side.
Yeah, just because I don't know. I think I don't like the lack of structure that comes from just like waking up every morning and I have to like get on my computer and just edit. It just feels like it's like not like a real lifestyle that I don't want that to be like my life forever. Um, but what was cool about Toronto though is that JREG and all his friends up there, they all rent a studio space together. So like they go in 8 ways, they rent out a studio, so they all have their own place where they live, but then they can come to the shared place anytime they want. And it's like a co-working space. And so they have a film room, an audio recording room, and you can just come and go any time of day or night, and it's yours because you're a part owner, and like they buy food. It's all like communally owned
It's
or
like
whatever.
monthly,
Yeah,
monthly.
yes, yeah. So they
Wow,
all
that's what Chris wanted to something like that. He was trying to start.
really
Yeah, like an
it's cool.
in-person
Cool.
podcasting, like
Yeah,
coffee
yeah.
shop
It's
slash podcasting studio.
it was such a cool thing, and so that's really kind of changed my attitude about stuff like that and like kind of what's possible. And so I would like to start a thing like that if I can in this area. So I'm going to talk to Paul about that soon. The problem with that is money, right? Because it's like you have to rent a whole apartment with people and split costs in addition to like your normal rent, which is kind of like, well, fuck, like. So you have to have enough people starting out to make that financially feasible.
And how would you make the money from just the rentals of the studio? That would be most of the income.
What do you mean, like, oh, like where would I come up with the money in the first place?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
Or like how would you make money doing it? How would it how would it make it worth it to you to make this kind of investment?
The community for sure, because like whenever you get together with people and you're in that artistic environment, it's just a different vibe. Like you,
Yeah.
it makes your brain work differently. You collaborate with people. You're in the shared space with artists and creative types every day, and it's like I would imagine that's probably what it feels like to work at like a tech startup or something, where like your friends are all there and you all just like code and create together all day. It's like that, but just for people that are YouTubers, and so that will make you more successful just because you're around an environment where there's like more pressures on you to like do better and be disciplined and stuff like that, you know.
What what is that called? Like what did it's called podcasting studios? I want to see if there's anything like that around here.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they just rented out a studio that I think it used to be a music recording place because they have a sound booth in there that's like isolated and double walled. Um, but
I
like
like
anyway,
that community aspect.
that's the best part. That's kind of the whole thing, you know. So I definitely got community pilled from being in Toronto, and I want to bring that down here now and be like, hey, you know, this is a really cool thing. I think it's, I mean, we live in such an increasingly atomized culture, right? Where it's like you go to work and you drive a car, and everybody, I mean, cars themselves are kind of like a, you know, like this symbol of like, I don't know, like if you don't live in a walkable city, you're already isolated from, I think, a lot of culture broadly. And then you drive to work, and then you come home to your house, and you live in a neighborhood, and it's like most people don't really get involved with community things. And so, at least in my experience, I've always just kind of come home to my house, and I'm here, and then it's like, okay, now I go to bed. So you're in the neighborhood of people, but like no one really knows each other. And you know, to fight that, you have to seek out community very intentionally. I think, like otherwise, it just the atomization just grows. And you can get that online, but there's something about in person that is just it. There's like a pheromonal 3D meat space thing that just kind of makes it more real, you know.
I wonder if some people are more sensitive to that than others. Because I hardly, maybe I've been doing this for so long that I can't tell the difference anymore. But when I'm in person, I definitely notice a difference. But I think I notice a difference in the type of people that I find here versus in person. But the actual experience of socializing is pretty much the same. Like my brain gets whatever it needs from either one without much noticing much difference. So maybe some people are getting something extra from the in person that I'm just not sensitive to.
Interesting. Interesting. Yeah, I haven't thought about that. I mean, I guess for me, I get like if I interact with people on a video chat like this, I mean, I'm getting like maybe 60 to 70%, I would
I'm
say. But
probably
there,
getting like 95.
oh, okay, that's interesting.
Because I don't need to smell you. I don't need your pheromones.
Sure.
I get most of your body language. Visually, I would have more of a sense of you. I'd have your height, your build, all of that. But that adds, that's maybe that little 5% that I'm not getting. So outside of all of that, I'm getting everything I need about a person.
Sure. That makes sense to me. Yeah. I guess I'm not sure what else I get out of it other
And
than
also, I'm older. Like, if I was your age, I might have a different need for, so, like, I don't know that I wouldn't want that in person stuff. But
Mhm.
having met as many people I've met in person in my life, at my age, I might have like enough in-person experience where that's not as much of a priority now. But at your age, you need to absorb as much people still as you can.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely still have a craving for that. Not as much as it was in high school. Like I feel like when I was a teenager, like I really, really loved the community. And now I'm 27 now, and I'm definitely less social than I used to be. But there's something really gratifying about it. Like whenever I go in person in a group, because it's just yeah, it's the small things. Like you can sit on a online and talk to people, but whenever you're in person, it's like you're in an office setting, you're in physical space together. You can get up and go on a walk together, and go out to like a coffee shop, go to a restaurant, walk down the street, and just do things that in person interaction, it adds like a dimensionality, I
I
think,
do
to
miss food. I think food, just like bonding over food, adds something to a connection. So the ability to do that for sure.
yeah. Yeah, and just the random places that you can end up at, or some person is like, "Hey, my friend's throwing a party, like come by," and then you kind of meet new people there, and you kind of go to people's houses, and it's just like a network that builds.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think it's good to have both. I think I wish I had more life balance. I did find some kind of studio here, not far from my house, that I'm going to check out.
oh, cool.
So
Okay.
there's potential, maybe even here. I went to a conference last year, and there were some people there that I had been zooming with for a while since COVID, and and I got to meet them in person at this conference, and it was weird because I thought I had, it wasn't strange seeing them in person. I thought I had known them in person before we started zooming, and they assured me no, this is the first time we're meeting in person. We've
Mhm.
only known each other through Zoom. And in my mind, the experience was so real. I was just convinced that this was not the first time I had was meeting them because I'd been zooming with them
Whoa,
for years. So that I could not tell the Zoom people from the real life people. Once I got to meet them all in one room together, it was like I had known all of them my whole life in person.
that's fascinating.
So I think it could be like a feature of how my brain's working too.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I definitely like. I think online is it's definitely like for me, it's better than nothing. But the in person stuff, I think, is yeah, I don't know. It's just
I think
cool.
it's good to have both. Like I want to start chapters of like wherever Dallas chapter. We have a bunch of people in Maine for some reason,
Oh,
so we might be
cool.
able to get a little Maine chapter going, and that way people have they have both. They have a way to come and connect online when they need to, but then they have an in-person community kind of in tandem with that if they want it.
Definitely, definitely. That's probably the best way to do it. Yeah, is to have a hybrid because it's like also the internet. You can find people that are a lot more specific and niche that might fit your personality better, and then you can also like connect with them in person sometimes, rather than like
Yeah, you're not limited to your local region, and
yeah.
it opens up your reach.
Yeah, like I met J-Reg through the internet, but then it's like then I got to see him in person. That was cool. So now he's a guy that I'm going to go see like once or twice a year or something, and like connect with people up in Toronto, and then like there's people in Vancouver, people in Austin. You know what I mean? But that
Yeah.
happened because of the internet. So
Yep.
yeah, you're right. There's like a two-way street there. It's very
Yep.
cool.
Oh, that's awesome. That's kind of how AOL was in the beginning. People were finding
I've
each
heard.
other and taking it like meeting in person and making all these new connections that they would have never met before.
Yeah, that was a little bit before my time, but I've heard tales of AOL chat because like that was kind of like the first.
This seems kind of like AOL but with video. It's the same phenomena of all these people like connecting and finding each other remotely.
Yeah.
Jeff, that'll be cool. Is what can we do to help? What is she not? What is not interesting her that we can change? What would interest her? What would draw her into a panel?
She thinks everyone on YouTube is insane. No, she's probably right.
You're
She's probably
showing her the wrong streams. Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah. But actually, Tommy, in a weird way, has a lot of sanity and insight to him.
that's so funny. Yeah, I get shit from my girlfriend about being a YouTuber constantly. So it's
There's a lot of there's one guy that comes out here. He goes to his girlfriend's house. They like spend a couple of days a week with each other, and then he streams while he's supposed to be spending time with her, and she's next to him watching him stream, and they're happy. Like they're happy. They seem happy.
that's fun. That's definitely good. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely healthy ways to engage with YouTube and be a content creator. There was all the personalities that I met up in Toronto were very interesting because it's like they are like normal people, but they're like hyper creative. So it's like they're always like thinking of new content and new stuff to create. And like you can tell it's a different vibe from just like a random person off the street, because they're in it, like it's a business, they're creative, they're funny, it's like they're always trying to come up with new things, which I find really stimulating. It's a cool environment to be in.
There's nothing comparable to that in Dallas.
I'm sure there is. I'm gonna talk to Paul, and we're gonna try to do something down here, I think. I mean, because there have to be other YouTubers in the Dallas area that I just don't
There
really
isn't Blair White down there, and
know.
there
That
was
would
someone else from Dallas that I ran
Dallas
into.
I'm actually just going to look this up right now. Dallas YouTubers. Actually, Greg was telling me that the guy that made Cyanide and Happiness is in Dallas, like the comic strip, which I found
I mean,
interesting.
I would fly to Dallas occasionally if you to be a
That'd be
part of
fun,
something.
dude. Absolutely.
In fact, I'm going home again for Thanksgiving, and I usually fly into Dallas and
Oh,
then catch
cool.
my other connecting flight out. So I wonder I could maybe even do a day, like a layover or two.
That'd be fun. That'd be fun. Yeah, yeah, if we have like a space or something at that point, that would be like very, very easy to set up. Um,
That would be cool as hell because Chris's parents had like a building or coffee shop or something, and he wanted to turn it into a studio where people could come and he'd have all this podcasting equipment, and it would be a coffee shop. They'd have board games. It would be like a community hangout space, but with the podcasting capability.
That would be sick. That would be sick. Where is Chris, by the way? I noticed that he's not
Uh,
streaming with you tonight.
no, it's been a while. I'm not sure. Last I heard, he was talking about maybe going back to Texarkana.
Oh, okay.
So maybe
Interesting.
that's where his parents are.
Well, I mean, because y'all streamed together a lot there, right? For like a
Yeah,
year or so. It seemed like I saw y'all pop up a lot. I checked in
yeah.
occasionally. But now it's just you. When was the last time that y'all streamed together?
Oh, it's been months.
Oh shit! Really?
Months and months and months. Yeah, it's been me for a while, but I have a little crew. I have a little team that shows up, and I don't have any like one person, but we have a little community here now. That
I noticed that I saw Uncle Fatty in the comments earlier. I remember that guy from that one conversation like
uh,
over a year ago. Remember we had that with the Christ brings a sword and all those.
oh, Fatty was part of that. I remember the Christ brings a sword guy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, that's how I met
He's
Uncle
still. I
Fatty.
think I had to block him. I still see him on other channels, but Fatty, you and Fatty would probably have a lot in common.
Yeah, yeah. That was the first time that I met Fatty. Was that I believe that was his entrance into the circle of people, because I think he hopped onto my stream randomly, and then I had you on, and then that's how y'all met, I believe.
And they had that guy, that young guy, that was kind of cool.
Yeah, I
And I
actually
subbed to him, and he did like a few videos after that, and then I never heard from him again.
If
He
you
looked
want
like,
that live stream, I can link that to you. It's unlisted on my account because it got a little, a
uh,
little intense.
well,
But
and you're going for a different crowd, too, probably.
yeah, I just don't want to do YouTube panels. The two or three that I tried to do rapidly degenerated into just insane yelling and just people going crazy and dropping all kinds of slurs, and
That's,
it was like the Wild West out there. You know what I mean?
I do know what
Um,
you mean.
but here I'll just send you. Yeah, I have it unlisted right now, but I'm gonna drop that to you privately.
Hey, Caldy.
Sam Sinisters. That's the day that I dressed up as Sam Sinister. Oh, what an insane day that was. Yeah. How can I send this to you?
Hank, you've been cracking me up all night. I don't know where you came from or who you are, but I'm liking the bit.
Why are there people in the chat who are not hopping on the
I don't
hangout?
know. Let's. Sometimes it depends on who else I'm competing with. Let's see. Glenn Lawrence is on. Mel, Machine Lies. Flo is over, so Flo's crowd might sometimes could show up here.
Here, Jeff, I'm gonna link this to you on Discord. Just in case you ever want to peruse the most insane night of my channel.
That was I was there for
Yeah,
part
no,
of it.
yeah, yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah, I remember. I was surprised that I was like, I'm used to this kind of content, but on Rowan's channel of all places,
Yeah,
that's where
I
it
was.
surprised me.
Yeah, I was trying to see if that format would work for me, but I stream. Well, I say I stream occasionally. I think my last stream was June, but I've streamed like working on beats a couple times, but that's kind of the extent of what I've
So
done.
what do you have in the works? What you said that video in October, which
Oh
is with
man, what's in the
Destiny.
works? I mean, there so three rap battles with J-Reg. I'm gonna edit all three of them. Two are gonna go on his channel, probably one next week and one the week after. And then a big one I'm gonna drop. It's gonna be Political Compass Rap 2.0, which is the sequel to his first one from like 5 years ago. So that's gonna drop on my channel probably the beginning of October. And then the stuff with Destiny is going to be a comedy skit and Destiny versus Hassan Piker, the rap battle. That'll drop probably like mid to late October.
The real Hassan or AI Hassan?
AI Hassan, yeah,
Okay, good. Because if y'all start fucking with Hassan, I'm gonna.
dude, no, he would never associate with a DGG or such as myself. So we got that going on. We got beyond that. There's a few Anthony Fantano related comedy things that I'm going to make, but and then I'll probably do like a Sam Cedar versus Dave Rubin at some point. It would be funny. Um,
Yeah, Caldy, I'm gonna drop his channel again. He does rap battles, like AI rap battles, and he's gonna do an actual rap battle with Destiny or some kind of comedy skit with Destiny, and he just did a few with is it Dreg or J Reg?
he goes by both. I've always called him J Reg,
I,
but
I call him J Reg too.
yeah.
Who won the battles? I would think J Reg just because of his spurg ability.
Well, so we didn't. The rap battles are we both dress up as characters. So one of them is an anarcho-communist versus authoritarian right, or just ANCOM versus Nazi. This kind of thing. What we're going to call it. And then we did transhumanist versus anarcho-primitivist, which is like a caveman versus like a robot transhuman person. And then the political compass rap is like, have you seen his original compass rap?
Compass, the political compass.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So it's I think if you
Here,
just
I
search
might as well put his
political
channel
compass
too.
on YouTube, so he just took the normal political compass of like upper right, left, bottom right, and left quadrants, and made those rap battle each other. But for the sequel, we shifted it so instead of like the four far corners, it's like the top and bottom and left and right. So it's like pure left, pure right, pure authoritarian, pure anarchism are all rap battling, and we filmed that, and I'm in the process of editing it.
Which
Actually,
one were you?
tonight. I play the anarchist and the leftist, and he played the right Darwinist and the authoritarian Ingsoc from 1984. So
Oh,
it was pretty good. I think it's going to get some views. For the leftist, I just dressed like we had to get costumes from the store. So like for the leftist, and these are like the very like caricatured off compass version. So right is like pure Darwinism, pure hierarchy, like some Mad Max, like anarcho capitalist shit. And then the pure
so
left,
a caricature.
yeah, and then the pure left was pure communalism. So it's like everything is shared. There's no boundaries. You have to share your toothbrush, share your wife. And so for that costume, so for Greg, he had like some skull mask and like a fake heart and like fake blood, and just like very Mad Max looking. And then for the left, I think we found a Minions onesie, and I'm a 6'4" guy, right? So I'm pretty big, and this Minions thing is like for like a 5'5" person. It was very very tight on me, so I put on a Minions onesie and like a rainbow hat with a propeller on it, and like rainbow socks. So I'm just like a giant
As your
shot.
leftist,
Yeah. So we just like made him be like the most like naive, like "Hello everybody, I'm the left" kind of.
it
So
does kind of sound like the teacher on Beavis and Butthead.
I'm not sure if I know the teacher.
He's like a hippie leftist. Hello, kids. Today we're gonna learn about equity and diversity. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
just
yeah.
like soy. He's total soy, like
Yeah, this kind
total
of
soy
person,
teacher.
but much more rainbow for sure. Yeah, it's kind of the character that we made for that. But and then authoritarian was Ingsoc from 1984, and then anarchist was just pure anarchist. He doesn't matter if it's ANCOM or ANCAP. He just wants to burn it.
Dre, he would be good at that one. Like he's pretty much that anyway.
For sure, for sure. But he does a pretty killer ingsoc, and so he played the authoritarian. And
I
I
can't wait to see. That's in a few weeks. Huh?
yeah. So that's probably because I'm going to edit them all because he's off in like other countries right now. But probably let me look at the schedule. Friday. Yeah, so probably first week of October that'll drop here in about 2.5 weeks. So, and then but the other two will drop on his channel, probably one next week and one the week after. So keep an eye out for those. And yeah, October is going to be a busy month of content.
And then we have Halloween too,
And
so
then
no telling what trolling is gonna be happening.
there's going to be a lot of trolls. Lots of
And you're kind of like your whole project is kind of troll in a way.
a little bit. Yeah, well, I like
You're
trolling.
top tier troll. Like you're trolling the big ones.
Thank you, thank you.
Hey,
Yeah,
Mike.
hey, I try my best, man. I definitely want to get back into the prank calls. There's more people. I mean, now I'm more connected now with like bigger YouTubers, so there's more people that I can prank call now who I can like get connected to. But
Who's
oh
the
no,
top? Who's still the top? Is it Mr. Beast?
like on all of YouTube, yeah, probably Mr. Beast. I mean,
Uh,
yeah, he's probably he's the big cheese, but that's a very different part of YouTube from the part that we inhabit. Um,
I'm
In my
still trying to.
sector, I would just like to talk to like I don't know, like what's my goal now that I know Destiny. I don't know, like maybe
Yeah,
like PewDiePie. No, I don't know. I don't know actually.
where do you go after Destiny?
Um,
Tucker Carlson or
Laterally, I think he's
uh,
probably there. There's not because like
Piers
to
Morgan?
get to the tier above him, you're on people like Ben Shapiro and like that level of people that are like
Yeah, I think you. I think that's a good. That's a Daily Wire. There you go. That's excellent. An excellent target to
hmm.
aim for,
Prank call Jordan Peterson.
figuratively.
Show up to a Jordan Peterson event dressed as my Jordan Peterson character.
Matt Walsh does it. His whole little movie was him trying to like disguise himself as a white guy, try to learn anti-racism. So
Yeah,
Matt Walsh does the very same thing. They would totally get your bit,
I think
and
you're
to have to do it to them, if they don't appreciate it, they're just showing what they are.
I think you're right, Jeff. I should start to concoct some grand Matt Walsh level documentary where I try to dress as a character and it's a good
Yeah.
idea, Jeff. You just gave me a good something to chew
Oh,
on here.
good. That's what we try to do here. It's an incubator.
Well, hell yeah. Well, hey, I think I better get to bed, but I just want to pop in and say hi. It was great to talk to you.
Yeah, I'm glad you did. Come
Yeah,
back anytime.
for sure. We'll do, man. And yeah, let's catch up again. I guess once I put out some more rap battles, we'll talk again. I'll get your thoughts on them.
Yeah, I'll be looking for it.
Cool, man. Have a good night.
You too, Ron. Take care. All right, that was haven't seen him in a while. He was like I keep saying P.F. Jung is my panel daddy. P.F. Jung is also a Paul. Um, a lot of us met through his community and started kind of got our I mean, I had my own channel before that, but I kind of rebooted into YouTube through PF Jung and that little community. And Rowan was part of the OG crew, so it was good to see him. I haven't seen him in a while. Um, you you weren't blocked by me. Oh, were you the one that we? Yeah, we kept trying to find your name, and I never could. But I don't remember ever blocking you. I do have to go pee. We didn't get to play the troll game. Liliana, we can't even get the trolls here anymore. Something's wrong. They used to swarm here like an Alfred Hitchcock movie. And now we can't even pay them to come on. Um, oh, maybe so. It could, because I did that to Mike one day too. I thought I was blocking a fake Mike, and I ended up blocking Mike, and it was weeks and weeks and weeks, and he never said anything. He was blocked the whole time. I will. I need to put on a video to like entertain y'all with, or something. I don't like to leave you here with just dead space. Maybe somebody. I wonder if I can trust Mel. I like Blizzy's on. Maybe I'll just leave you with the panel for a minute and risk it. I'll leave you with Mel. Y'all can talk to Blizzy. All right, I'll be right back. Um,
But are you the guy that used to come on Morbids?
Yes.
I know Morbid.
I did too.
think.
I
Isn't that a
made
bit of a funny
Legos.
statement though? Like he says, "I'm blind. We never met face to face."
Yeah, that's
What?
pretty funny.
It's a little funny. It's a little funny.
What's funny about? I don't get it.
Hi, buddy. Welcome.
Okay, but I just wanted to know because man, I got like a ton of
That guy's
questions.
back in that guy's in the back
So,
chat again.
Hi,
So,
buddy.
AKA, I will tell you, this is my first interaction with you. I don't have any other prior interactions of knowing who you are, so I'll be learning a lot.
You for a treat, you in for a treat.
All right.
But
Good.
I need to know. I asked Resto a question in the back, and I need an answer before I continue.
Rest is on a break.
He's right at the moment. Sorry, Crispy. I know you're the other you're the
Oh,
other
that's
boss.
okay. How are you, Infamous? Good to hear.
I'm good. How are you? Just tell me if you need a sidekick. I'll be there for you.
Okay. No, I got Wiccan. We're all right.
You said if we need a sidekick.
If needed
Oh,
be.
I need a
I said
sidekick.
sidekick, I think.
Oh,
I'll be the
sidekick.
sidekick of the sidekick. How about that?
Yeah.
No, I don't need sidekicks. I don't need sidekicks, just side pieces, if you don't mind.
Oh,
Crispy,
where's
Crispy.
my thing? Kit.
Yeah, Sonny.
Look,
Thank you.
the guy is in the back chat again. I said, please stop, Montana.
Yeah, just ignore him, Jake. Like he's gonna keep coming up. He's
I'm over here like I'm over here like in my because one of my nervous traits is me playing with my me when I'm like fidgeting. One thing is I play with my hair, and I'm like that's one of my nervous traits, and I'm over here like nervous.
Yes, I built Legos on Morbid's channel. I did.
Hey, Crispy, check
Okay.
that chat.
Okay.
Oh wow, he's going in. He's going in.
We're not bullies.
What I said,
Hi,
Crispy.
Wiccan.
I'm sorry. I'm just.
Wait, what is that? AK?
I'm being nice. I'm being nice,
Gotcha,
Crispy.
gotcha.
I know,
nice.
baby. You're always nice.
I think we should all
I'm always trying to be nice. But when someone attacks male,
all right. Hopefully nothing happened to get my stream struck. Mel and Crispy and Resto can usually be trusted. Okay, let's see. Oh, comments. Oh, hey, Daniel Barry. They had another sports question come up earlier about one of the Super Bowl games. Mikey, let's see. Was that an old? No, I think she's live. I think Mel was live. Oh. Oh, I thought everybody knew Mel from the UK. She does kind of open panels. She does every now and then she does a men's mental health panel. That's pretty cool. Yeah, it was her channel. Or at least, I mean, if she usually doesn't restream. She usually does her own stuff. So I just assumed it was hers. But I'll drop her channel. It's Takeover Saturdays with Resto, Wiccan, and Crispy. So maybe it could be any one of theirs. But she showed up on my... Oh, sorry. That's J-Reg's channel. Let me get hers. All right, here is Mel's. Liliana wants to see a troll so she can go to sleep. But I would be the only one being trolled. Are they going to come up and troll me? Good luck. Do you see all the bones and skulls and lying around here? Looks like Smog's Golem's cave. I like your idea. I don't know why it's taken so much work, because usually the troll, I think that's part of the troll. They only work when you don't need them or want them. When you can't like actually make a troll because then they lose their troll. It's not a troll anymore. AA, come on. All right, well, I'll tell you what, I'll go for 5 more minutes. No, I mean, don't go too easy. But it might be one of those things that has to happen organically. So, like, you float the idea, it's out there, and then we just keep weaving it into the experience. And then at some point, it starts to take on its own life. Because I had the background set up and everything. So I definitely like the idea, but maybe there's no market in trolling because people get it for free. Let's see. I went live earlier for about an hour, and then I took a break to watch some stuff in Discord, and then I came back on, and I'm at about an hour and a half now. I'm gonna. My God, there's other panels. I'm looking at this podcast studio here in where I live. I mean, it's out of my budget, but it's not unreasonably priced either. I could probably raise the funds and pull it off if I had some really creative project I wanted to try. I'm more interested in, like Rowan said, the community that gathers around this kind of stuff. I had a mountain bike when I was little. I used to like mountain bike. Um, I could go either way. Do you have a topic or anything you want to talk about? Or we could get other people up. Or I could just try again tomorrow. Liliana's saying do it. She wants entertainment. Oh, it's up to me. I'm mostly here to give other people a voice or a space. Do you have anything on your mind that you need to get off or want to process or think through or talk about or share? I do. I had Hank, when I lived in New Orleans, I had an entire outdoors meetup group, and we did canoeing and kayaking, hiking, camping, biking, recreational meetups, you named it. We had a full calendar, but we did a lot of kayaking. Um, I love to. I mostly ended up canoeing. We would rent the canoes. So I think I probably have more canoe experience than kayaking, but I like them both. I loved, and the one thing I haven't tried yet that I want to try is the whitewater rafting. They have that up here. That seems fun. Growing up, they had it at like the water parks, those inner tube rides, and like the log flume rides. But that's as close to whitewater rafting. Although I'll tell you this story. I think it was 1979. Hang on, no, maybe 1980. I got to get this right. 1980. Thunder River was the water ride that had just opened up at Astroworld, which was kind of like our Six Flags in Houston. And there were the big long lines. Everybody was lining up. It took hours to get on everything, and we finally got on the little. It was kind of like a big ass tube creation, and you had these plastic seats inside the tube, and you were strapped in, and they had seat belts and all kind of stuff. And we were floating down the rapids, and they had this one part where there's like this waterfall that comes down this rock, but they have this wooden board that the little car bounces off of so that you don't like go under the waterfall. Well, this was the first year the ride had just opened, and that board malfunctioned or while we were on it, and it put us under that waterfall, and we got stuck in like a loop, and it kept spinning us. It was like being waterboarded. It kept spinning us underneath that waterfall, and like it took them like 10 or 15 minutes to come get us out of there. I think they had to get the hook and get us out of there, and then we had to wait. They had to like shut the ride down and fix it. We had to wait in that little raft for like half an hour, 45 minutes before we could continue on the ride. So that was our experience with the closest to the whitewater rafting I think I've gotten was at the Astroworld ride that broke. All right, you've helped me make my mind up. I'm gonna I am gonna wrap up. I can't do another one of those. But I will tell you this, Mike. If you want to send me the links on Discord, I will glance at them because I know that the amount of people to pull off what you're alleging nationwide, because they have the people that watch the elections. Oh, and another thing I looked up the Washington State, how we do our elections, and they have an entire website showing the process and how secure it is. Oh, you too, Jeff. Good to see you. Have a great night. Yeah. Oh, Kane, you have a Discord too. And are you in mine? I can share here. Anybody that wants the link to my Discord. My name is Gen X Jeff. You could just shoot me a message on Discord, and I'll get you the link. And then Kane has a Discord, and he may stream later tonight as well. Which, if you're Kane, that's how I learned to do it. I just kept doing it. The more I did it, the better I got. The more I learned. It's a discipline. It's like learning a musical instrument or something. So stream every chance you get and go on other panels. That gives you an idea. Like, because sometimes it's good. Well, you come on this panel, so you know what it's like. Sometimes it's good to be the guest and have somebody else do all the production work. And you don't have nearly the social issues that I have on panels. So probably panel hopping is another good way to learn. Okay, deal. Deal. Send me the info, and I'll take a look. That sounds good. I'm gonna get Kane's channel for everyone, and then I think I'm gonna go enjoy the rest of my night too. Why is your channel not coming up? It is so hard to find these damn channels on YouTube. All right. I think I found it. All right, here's Kane's channel. I'll stream. What does that mean, streaming a Discord link? Do you stream from Discord? Yeah, believe it or not, Hank, I enjoyed it too. You were a pleasant distraction. Yeah, if I don't mind putting your link in the chat if you want to Do you want to come up in the back real quick and pop your link, and then I can grab it and post it for the chat, or can they find you on Discord under Kane's Catharsis? Oh, the debate, the recent one. Yeah, send me that too, because I only watched about half of it. I got caught being autistic. I got fixated on that it was going to be a debate, and that it would turn out to be not a debate. It just lost. My mind was already stuck on that format, and I couldn't follow it anymore. Oh, it didn't. You know what? It didn't show up, Kane, because it YouTube normally doesn't. It eats the links when people try to post them if they don't have link posting power. I do agree. I do agree that some of the questions seemed a little biased against Trump. Like they made a lot of assumptions about Trump. They were very accusatory. But there is kind of, and I noticed this almost after he got elected, like almost in 2017, right away. There's this kind of default narrative about Trump that's not necessarily based on fact. It's based on belief and impression, and it's a narrative that enough people can adopt that it holds a group together. All right, I got it, Kane. I'm gonna join up. You want me to post it for others? All right, I just joined, and I will. This is. Oh, well, that could be Tism too. All right, here is Kane's Discord. Hang on. I just had it. All right. So you can join Kane's too, and he said something about maybe streaming. So there you go. You have a way to follow Kane on Discord, and you have his YouTube channel, and he may stream later too. So I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this one up, and everybody can move on over to Kane's later on if he goes live. Because the idea, like our ideas, many of us, mine and others, but certainly mine, when I started doing this was because I had that 24-hour stream during COVID. It's like a collection of streamers that are just always streaming, and so there's always a panel to go to at some point. And when one ends, another one starts. We even thought of creating a website with like a TV guide that shows who's streaming when. Oh, no problem, Kane. Keep up the good work. I look forward to seeing more. All right. It's been great, guys. I'm sorry we didn't get our little troll game going, but we'll do it. We're the outliers. We don't know what we're capable of until we try it. So I believe we can pull off all kind of shit here. I just don't believe that there's that many united, coordinated people that have the capacity to affect what goes on here to that degree. Yeah, but they could be attacking for reasons that have everything to do with Trump himself. Like there doesn't need to be this extra layer of plotting and scheming to explain why people don't like Trump. Actually, Art, you're the first person that's even brought it up, so you're the one ruining things now, if that's what you're trying to do. I meant to do this to you a long time ago anyway, so let me get that taken care of. All right. Yes, I did see that, and that was deplorable. Anybody that had the slightest feeling of glee over it, I think is a sick person. Nobody deserved what happened that day. Not even Trump. They're like, if you hate a man that much that you think that you can rationalize what happened or justify what happened that day, I don't want anything to do with you. Stay away from my life and definitely stay off my channel. Yeah, and I want to make this clear. There are perfectly rational, valid reasons to be against Trump. I grew up in the 80s when he was a celebrity. I watched The Apprentice. Before he even ran for president, there's reasons to not like Trump. So I'm not trying to argue for liking the man. I'm just trying to argue for not demonizing him beyond reasonable limits and still treating him like an American and a human and not a scapegoat figure. Alan wants me to stay. I was about to say what's it worth to Alan, but then I felt like such a whore saying that, so I couldn't even bring myself to do it, but I guess I just did do it in a way, so just a little more indirectly. All right. All right, let's see. Yeah, I guess I better take the opportunity while I have it and get out of here while I can. All right, I'll see y'all next time. It won't be long. Tomorrow's kind of one of my busy days, but I'll get some streams in between all the busyness. So thanks again, guys. We'll get some of these ideas off the ground, even if it is like the Orville brothers plane. And some of the ideas may even end up like Amelia Earhart herself. But we keep going here. Okay, thanks a lot. Take care, everybody. Ooh, what are all these tabs? All right. That's a sign. It's time to call it a night.